Hello and welcome to today's WIEF iEmpower Developing a Digital Mind Map for Selling. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Andrea Chow, who is the founder of Global Circles Academy. She is a sales trainer, coach, and consultant. She is also the founder of ASAT Sindran Berhad. Andrea has trained thousands of students and clients in sales all over Asia, including Malaysia, Singapore, Vietnam, Myanmar, and Thailand. Again, a warm welcome to Andrea Chow. Over to you, Andrea.
Thank you and good morning, everyone. Thank you, Ina, for your generous introduction. My name is Andrea, and today we shall journey along more about developing a digital mind map for selling. And for me to get to know you a little bit better, for perhaps what would you like to do for me is that if you could type in where you're joining us from and what do you do, so I know you are a little bit more. And while you're doing all your typing, let me just give you a little bit of a background of this topic. Developing a digital mind for selling begins with their thoughts like, how is it different from our traditional mode of selling? So let me just explain a little bit. Hi, Ivy, welcome. Hi. Keep the message coming in, yeah? So those days when we're talking about selling in a traditional format, we are talking about door knocks, cold calls, make appointments, have those coffee sessions, chats, presentation, and etc. And this pandemic have actually brought much faster digital development into our lives. And why would I say that and how I would say this? I'll explain it in details over the next 1 hour that we're spending time together. Yeah. So the whole idea of being a business owner. Hi, Intan. I can see that we've got more messages coming in, and I can see that most of or all of you are actually business owners. Great. Nice meeting all of you here. Yeah. As a business owner, our objective is to actually increase our profits and make our customers happy. And this has brought down to this very important happy hormones that we are talking about. So the whole idea about making any human being happy is actually brought down to these four major factors in your happy hormones. And these are actually described in this chart that you're actually looking at right now. And the whole idea about selling actually is brought down to this particular one in the pink color box called dopamine, which is the reward hormone. The feeling of somebody achieving a goal, winning an award, and etc. So we will actually go deep dive into this particular topic about how do we make our customers happy on a digital platform. And of course, in that sense, it means that increasing your sales, increasing your profitability. Hi, Rachel. Thank you for joining us. Hi, CT. Hi. All right. Let's journey back a little bit to 1943, where we have this thing called Maslow hierarchy of need. And that is where it begins to discover about the fact that as a human, we have different motivations, we have different needs. It goes from very basic needs like food and shelter to eventually becoming very much self-actualization, where we actually run after our desire, our dreams, our passion. Right? So as we journey along this particular pyramid here, you understand that the selling process is basically fulfilling humans' needs, wants, as well as desire. So there's three items there, yeah? Needs, wants, and desire. Right? And And after we understand a little bit about human needs, there's also a lot of other studies and papers done up with regards to how do we improve sales, improve the business in various factors. And one of it is actually the atmospheric factors. So there's a study done that with all these ambience cues like color and smell and you're talking about lighting and music and temperature, it actually increases sales, right? How do you actually bring all these into a digital platform? Perhaps before I fast forward everything to 2021, where we actually spent 2020 in a very, very, very different mode as compared to any other times, perhaps you could actually drop me an answer if you actually started a journey having a digital business. If you have actually started digital business this like in 2020 and 2021, perhaps you type me a Y in the chat box. All right. So, the digital mind map for selling on a online or on a virtual selling or online platform has actually changed the whole sales process. It's very different from those days where a lot of the marketing tools are only available to large companies, MNCs, and you're talking about people who have the dollars to put it out for advertising. However, these days, the digital mind map for selling begins with the orange bubble that you are seeing right in front of you right now, which is the education-based selling. Okay? As much as what is this education-based selling, these three words here, it goes back to this thing called advertising, promotion, PR, branding, and communications. If you hear these 5 words, these are common words found in marketing textbook that a lot of small businesses never had dreamt of getting close to it because of the unable to afford those services. You're talking about advertising dollars on the TV as well as radio, which cost a lot those days. However, do take note, time has changed with social media. The whole arena of education-based selling becomes zero cost or near zero cost. Even for small business owners, we could start and embark in them. Let me get into a little bit more details with that, yeah? Great, Ivy, I can see that you have started the digital selling process. Great, fabulous. So, does any of you actually post a lot of contents on social media? Perhaps it's Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. Yes, for Rachel. Ivy say no time, unfortunately. Busy, yes. Great, great, great. Get those messages coming along. Those contents are great for your business. I'll tell you why in a little bit more. Yes, we're in time. Great. So basically, in terms of the education-based selling, or what we call getting people to know us, awareness, brand awareness, products awareness, as well as services awareness, it starts with 3 elements here, which I'm actually showing you that leads on to the sales funnel. 1 is content marketing. 2 is talking about social proof. 3 is talking about KOL as well as influencer. Let's take a look. What content could you actually be building and where about do you actually post them? I'm sure most of you actually have all these different social media accounts, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Some people are actually involved in TikTok, as well as I think the latest one. Let me know if you're actually in Clubhouse. If you're in Clubhouse, type me a C. No iPhone. Okay. Great, Angelica. Hi. Hi, Jess. Yes. So Clubhouse is like a new thing, new norm. All right. So content marketing. Actually, what does content marketing do? It very much talks about brand awareness. It talks about what value can you give to the customers in terms of educating them the need for your products or services, or in a very marketing format, we call this a trigger marketing. We trigger that purchase, the need for that purchase or that buying behavior. And thus, this is where you actually do your FB Live, do very much the videos, infographics, blogs, articles, etc., etc., etc. So you can write many different types of content to actually fill up in all the different platforms, yeah? So as much as content marketing is concerned, the usual questions that I get a lot are, what do I post? And how many times do I post, right? Okay, those are questions that's very, very technical with regards to like different platforms. There will be different answers. All right. I want to actually disclaim myself a little bit here. I'm a practitioner, I'm a business owner. I don't come from like a technical social media marketing kind of background. What I'm sharing here is practically what I've done for my own business. Yeah. So as we journey along, besides content marketing, one of the other thing that one could do is actually to social proof yourself. And what do I mean by social proofing is actually if you actually place your products on e-commerce platform, there are all these buttons, the after sales where you have to rate the product, rate the service. And this is where rating actually increases your credibility. And the whole idea of social proof as well is to increase one's influence as well as whether you are actually a leader, thought leader in this industry or in this field. The other thing that you have got to actually understand the buying behavior of consumers is they like to be part of a brand, be part of you, be part of a leader, be part of a thought process or an industry. And that share button actually allows them to be able to share with others what they have been doing well or what they have making good decisions about and things like this. So if they have actually liked a fan, for example, like for me, I follow Tony Robbins and I love his sharing, and sometimes I share his posts onto my social media. All right. The other thing that's very, very powerful, especially if you are dealing with services, yeah, this is actually in the areas of adding testimonials as well as recommendations. So the same old recommendations format, it's available in a very, very formatted or templated format in LinkedIn. However, you can be very creative with how you actually collect your testimonies. You can collect testimonies via videos. You can collect testimonies via WhatsApp. You can actually collect testimonies of the participants or your customers recording a voice message for you. So there's all these different methods of proving yourself or your capability or what you have done for your previous clients, and that actually allow you to relate to how your new customers view you and actually purchase your services and products thereafter. All right, so much so of saying this. Okay, type a yes if you have seen either one of these pictures. If you know any one of them in the picture, type a Y. Great. So you know who is Sir Richard Branson? I'm sure you do. He does this mind-blowing thing all the time. He's such a thought leader, and he's always with that courageous, brave, just like the way he actually put up his picture here, right? And he becomes a key opinion leader by doing, not just because of his doing, but very much he walks the talk. What's really behind this picture is not because he actually put on that air stewardess uniform and the makeup. It's very much that he could also do the job that his business is in. So that's actually letting people see that, hey, he walks the talk. That's a great, great, commendable attitude of a great leader. Now, a lot of you may not know Austin. Austin is the picture lower at the bottom of the slides. And Austin Lee is actually a Chinese live streaming specialist, or he calls himself a king of lipstick. What makes him be in my slides is because after I did a bit of studies, this man is amazing. A little part-time job of selling L'Oreal cosmetics during his uni days have actually built him a whole empire of a e-commerce platform. He actually managed his highest record. He managed to sell 15,000 lipsticks in 5 minutes. Right, just 5 minutes, and that actually gives him this name, King of Lipstick. So you could actually check your YouTube. There's plenty of videos with regards to him. There's a lot of interviews talking about how he actually set this empire, and he's actually one of the leading live streaming specialists in China with the highest earning ever. Yep. So we talk a bit about the education-based selling or the awareness program that we should have in order to lead our customers to look at our products and services. Now comes the most important bit, which is how do you turn this education into money? The monetization process, which is the selling process, right? If you are already selling on digital platform and monetizing your products and services, let me know. How have you gone with that? Has it been successful? If you have been successful, type in a success. This term called social selling have never came to become popular until I would say that the last 3 years you see a lot more books entitled social selling, a lot more articles written about social selling. So these days, not only do we actually give out free contents, eventually we would want to call to action to actually turn these free contents and free reviews of what we are offering into dollars and cents. And that is where the conversion process is actually the social selling process. So you could be selling on Skype, on Zoom, on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp. Those are all the process of a social selling. And how is social selling a little bit different from our old days or traditional way of knocking the doors? Now, one of the things is that these days on social selling platform, people would want to have very, very like short and crisp content. You notice that people are no longer looking out for like very, 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 very long videos. They have very short attention span. And how do you give it to them what they want, what they need at that very moment? One of my tips for you is that cut all your contents into bite-sized pieces, small nuggets, so people could digest faster. And thus, that's helping in that decision-making process because the smaller the size, the easier to chew. All right? So besides using the social selling method, of course, you'll be embarking in more technologies and building up an expansion of your team. And we could include like the salesperson. And these days, the beauty about platforms like Skype and Zoom and Meets and WhatsApp video and etc., we could still see people face to face and do those live chats and live presentations. And not only that, you could actually do that selling right here, right now on Zoom. So that is actually opening up the world for you. The borders are all open now, whether the airport is open or not. Isn't that great? So the next one that we have is actually talking about customer service. And basically, the customer service today is no longer to just for inquiries or for any complaints and difficulties that the customers have. Nowadays, we are talking about how do you turn the customer service into dollar and cents as well, where the beauty of upsell and cross-sell comes along very, very far in the area of customer service. Why do we say so? It's because that 80-20 rule again, where it only takes 20% of the marketing budget to continuously engage your existing customers as compared to 80% of the dollars to actually acquire new customer. So a smart business owner would want to spend time and effort to actually get back to the existing customers so that they buy more and more and more. And the beauty of all this selling process these days, it can be actually much more efficient and effective, and you embark in a lot more self-service technologies, the apps and the software, which as a business owners, these days we are pampered by lots and lots of apps, whether they are free or they are with a minimal cost, yeah? All right, I've got a question for everyone. Are you selling your products or services on e-commerce platform? If yes, type for me the platform. Is it on Lazada? Is it on Facebook? Or is it on Instagram? Where are you selling your products at the moment? No, not on e-commerce, Ivy. Thank you, Ivy. Michael's on FB. Rachel's on FB. Great. Great, great, great. Yes, on Carousel, IG, Shopee, FB, as well as Lazada. Oh, I see a lot of Facebook fan here. And if you are a Facebook fan, you probably noticed that actually Facebook have actually upgraded themselves a lot. They are never big on the selling or the marketplace button until very much recently that they have actually embarked on this journey to help business owners, small business owners especially, to be able to sell on that platform. So how do I explain this particular platform about e-commerce? Is very much this way. Let's put yourself with that thinking cap of a traditional business, yeah. So e-commerce platform to me is like a shopping mall. It's like if you, let's say, you go down to if you are in Malaysia, then you look at Pavilion. A platform is like Pavilion and KLCC and all our big malls. If you're talking about you're in Singapore, then it could be like Centrepoint and Sogo and Robinsons and etc. etc. Of course, today Robinsons is down, it's gone. Yep. So platform are malls, are traditional shopping malls, and now we have Shopee and Lazada and Facebook and etc. that actually allow us to host the platform and also have payment gateways. The website, it's very much like you have your own little retail of which you sell your products on your website. Yeah. And the other thing that it's very, very interesting on a virtual platform is these days you can expand your business so quickly because you could actually hire lots of agents and distributors with affiliate marketing as well as drop shipping services. Now, we are talking about a very, very different view as compared to those days when you have one retail shop and just that one retail shop that opens 10 to 10 p.m. and you don't have other source of income. The virtual selling world have actually just opened up many other streams of income potentials for you as a business owner, yeah? Natasha said Lazada, Instagram, Facebook, the most. Great, great. Great effort, everybody. Thank you so much. And in order to speed up the sales process or the closing process, yeah? So there are times whereby you find that, hey, how do I actually help people feel a little bit more urgent to purchase your products? These are some of the strategies and the tips that I'm about to share with you, right? Anyone from Singapore here? Because if you're from Singapore or you are from Malaysia and you know this term kiasu, those days we use this term kiasu, which is terrified of loss. However, the more common term that we've been using over the 1 year that we've been home most of the time is this word called FOMO, fear of missing out. So in order to speed up the process of the buying process to make that decision making. Hi, Ilana from Singapore. Thank you so much for joining us. Yep. So the term FOMO is actually talking about how do you actually create that urgency or that importance in order to close that deal. And these are some of the samples. So sometimes you see in a poster that says limited time offer, early birds, and 3 days to go. That actually kind of give you that urgent. If I'm the customer, I feel that I'll be terrified if I lose out on that opportunity. It's 3 more days to go. I better click the button now. Besides that, you can value add onto those promotions where there are lots of it, and there's a lot of different ideas. We're spoiled with choices of ideas here. There's things like holiday packages where they buy 25 and get 5, buy one get one free, etc., etc. Okay, now let's proceed a little bit more onto the psychology side of things that you could actually add on into your selling process. Perhaps you have actually noticed it a lot when you were actually doing a lot of physical retail shopping, or what the ladies call it, retail therapy. All right. So In marketing or even in sales, we have embarked in this thing called sensory marketing, where you talk about what looks nice in the eyes, what's soothing to the ears, the touch, the smell, and the taste. And on the right here, do you remember which movie this picture is actually from? If you know which movie this is actually from, perhaps you want to tell me which movie is that. Do you remember the name of the movie? Monster? This movie is called Inside Out. Yes, Ellie, you're absolutely right. Fabulous. And the beauty about this little movie, if you have an opportunity to watch it or rewatch it, is actually all talking about emotions. And basically, when you talk about the buying and selling process, it's actually dealing with the emotions of your customers. How do they feel? How do they feel that your products and services are able to solve their challenges or their problems? And what solutions can you provide? Yeah. And how do you use the sensory as well as emotions in your selling strategy? Let's have a look. Yeah. Tell me what sound, what do you hear? Yeah. Rachel, you're very quick. Yes. Crunchy, munching chips. Great. Makes you hungry. Sorry about that. Okay, I better stop making people hungry. All of you are right. The beauty about being on virtual is that you could add sound like this that makes another person feels hungry. And when she actually, like for example, Rachel says, this sound makes me hungry. That's fabulous because when she hears this, she wants to click the add to the cart button, buy now. Right. Now, let's move on a little bit. Welcome to my furniture shop. Would you buy this sofa that has got this blue background or this green background? So if you like the blue, please type in blue for me. And if you like the green, type in the green. Natasha say green, 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 green. I'll show the blue again. Oh, great. There's lots of green here. Blue, some blue. Great. All right. When we talk about these colors here, and the beauty about how you can use background colors, and you know that background colors, you could change a million different type of colors, right? Without costing you a bomb, as compared to if you're talking about painting your wall, it costs you a lot more, yeah? Now, let's talk a little bit about psychology of color. All right. So we see a lot of greens in here. And green actually give that meaning of nature, the harmony, as well as the feeling of safety, right? And thus, for those that actually make the choice of green, it actually gives you that feeling of calm and security because of that color. Whereas the blue that you saw there was a lot more of the trust and the power and confidence. Like what Natasha said, that blue was actually very, very powerful. It was very, very strong. So if you understand the psychology of colors, that's lots of little things that you could actually improvise into your virtual selling process to make it better. Right. Now let's do another little quiz here. Now you're actually going online shopping with me and we're gonna buy a webcam. Yep. Do you prefer that the shopping cart, the add to cart button on your right, or you prefer this one on your left? So if you like the right, you type for me right. And if you actually prefer the one on the left, you type for me on the left. Okay, I see a lot of right, 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 right. You're right-handed. Great, great, great. Get the answers coming in. Thank you so much. All right. Great answer, Ivy. Besides the fact that you are right-handed, let me show you why. You actually select the one on the right, yeah? So there's lots of research with regards to that reading behavior, as well as this, in this case, it's called Gutenberg diagram, where it suggests that people are subject to a reading gravity. And this reading gravity goes from the top left and end at the bottom right. And having said that, because it ends there, that's why the decision making also ends at where that bottom right is, yeah? Isn't this amazing? A lot of people does all this research with regards to reading behavior and graphic designs, and all these rules becomes so relevant today in our lives being on a digital platform now. Thanks, Ivy. Thanks, Ivy, for your remark there. You see, so I'm just actually going to reiterate the point there. You see, the picture is actually here. So your eye would actually be looking at the camera. And if this is the model or this is the ideal thing that you're looking for, the next thing you'll be looking at is add to cart or buy now. All right. Okay. So we are done with some quizzes and we had some fun there. Let's talk about how you can actually up the game of selling with customer service process, yeah? And customer service process these days is no longer that hotline and say, hello, can I help you? Anything, everything okay? Anything wrong? And it's no longer just handling complaints and issues and inquiries. It's about how you engage into a community and a tribe and a long-term sustainability model for your business. And we're talking about here like updates, newsletters, events, gathering, including people, having it exclusive events. Why I have the word inclusive as well as exclusive here is to include people into your community of growing their, whether depending on what you're selling. Like for me, I'm actually in the business of training and development, so include them into a community of where they could actually learn and make money and do business together. That's one. As well as exclusive is, do you have like exclusive gatherings and events only open for your own community, yeah? So that way, people feel that there's a long-term engagement there, of which they are loyal to your brand, they continually love you and support you. And of course, this also relates to the very last bubble that I have there, which is the referral and affiliate marketing, yeah? The person that's most likely to actually give you a referral or your recommendations are your existing customers. And how do we convert these existing customers to become your supporter, your advocator? Meaning to say that at some point in time, your advocators could be earning a referral fee from you because they love your products. They love to talk about your products, and thus they want to actually be part of your products. All right. And that's actually very commonly found. If you are very active in monetizing your YouTube, you notice that they add on ads into your YouTubes. And well, these are brands that you agree to and you love them, and that's why you're advocating them. So these are some of the samples. Invite your friends up to 40% discount. You're talking about friends get friends, referrals, and etc. etc. Right? Now, as we embark along this journey of converting or even digitalizing our business, we have now opened up many, many more business opportunities, business models, and you have actually embarked in a journey of parallel universe. What do I mean by that is actually now the world is literally flat. Okay, and the business opportunities are everywhere. And with that, I've actually completed my presentation, and we can open up for questions, yeah? All right. If you see this Q&A box there, and if you've got questions, you can feel free to actually type your questions right in there, and I could actually look at them and answer them one by one, all right? Ivy, thank you. You touched on content creation earlier. How often to post on different social platforms? Okay, great question. Great question. All right. How often do you post? Of course, it goes back to how committed are you with the timing to actually post. So one of the things that you could actually begin with, or I'll just share it here, is that at least once a day. Okay. However, disclaimer to that particular answer is that it depends on which platform. Like for example, LinkedIn. LinkedIn follows like a very typical working person, Monday to Friday, post your posts once a day. And perhaps this, let me give you a little extra tip there, is that you could actually post it before the working hours as well as perhaps during lunchtime or after working hours, yeah. However, because the amount of people, the amount of population on LinkedIn as compared to Facebook, then I would say that Facebook may not be enough if you only have one content a day, yeah? All right. I hope that answer your question. And let's look at another question. I'm a small business owner. How do I get started with virtual selling? Okay. Thank you. And how do you actually get started with virtual selling is that you could actually start by creating small little nuggets of content or values or educate your customers about your products and services. Of course, after you educate them, then you could actually set up, whether it's e-commerce platform or whether you want to sell on Facebook and etc., a platform where they could actually purchase your products. And together with those payment gateways, it's much easier and faster to complete the sales process. And I hope I answered that question for you. And let's move on to another question. How to make people buy your product without forcing? Great question there. How do you actually make your customers buy without feeling that forcing? And that is why the first bubble that I've got in that chart actually says education based selling. And it's actually going away from the more old fashioned way of selling where we show and tell. Show and tell give the person the feeling of your product pushing. You're just talking about your product and more of that. The education based selling, it's very much telling me as a consumer or potential customer, what can your products do for me? That's educating me how I can use your products in my daily life. So it could be with different usage. For example, like let me give you a particular example. Let's talk about our pain reliever, a typical pain reliever for a headache. It can be used for headache, it can be used for pains, it can be used for muscle pains. If you educate and show me and tell me in whether it's infographics and or videos or live or whatever not of the different usage of these painkillers, perhaps I could relate to one of it and buy more of that. If it's not, I would always have the impression that it's only meant for headache. And if I don't have a headache, I don't need them. Right? And I hope I that answered that question as well. Thank you. Okay, I've touched about the content creation earlier already. The next question that we have there, how do we want to get the right niche in posting our products in social media platform? Great question. This go back to understanding your customer segmentation and customer avatar. So we're talking about customer segmentation here is that there's always, when I ask people, so who are you actually targeting? And the answer that I get is everyone. The unfortunate truth about sales and marketing is if you're targeting everyone, you are actually targeting no one, because you are not talking specific enough to target a specific group of customer. So you need to be very much understanding their niche to the extent like how old are they, what they're working as, what's their favorite thing to consume, how do they consume, when do they buy, what's their income level, whether they are single, married, with kids, living with their parents, old age, where are they in city, or are they in outskirt, to that level of understanding. Because the more you understand them, the more you know how to actually make use of this social media platform for them. Let me give you a very specific example, yeah? For example, if you look at the Facebook Live for English speaking channel, for the English speaking channel for Facebook Live, the time for that Facebook Live is actually not very long. It's probably like in 15 to 20 minutes, we end off whatever we want to say. However, if you look at the trend of Facebook Live on a Chinese speaking, on a Mandarin platform, because when you map back at how they actually learn from like the Alibaba as well as those Facebook Live, sorry, not the Facebook Live, but the live streaming platform in China, their live streaming goes for hours and hours and hours. In China, it is very, very popular that their live streaming goes from like 8 p.m. all the way to midnight. So again, knowing your niche or your customer segment allows you to understand a little bit better how they buy, when they buy, what they buy. Right? Thank you very much for that question. What to do if you receive negative feedback in your FB review? All right, this is the time that we're talking about authenticity, walk the talk, and you've got to explain yourself about that scenario. All right, and how you want to actually deal with this is what we call a crisis management. In other words, that you would have to give your honest view from your end, so people understand. However, Rachel, it's this market whereby anybody can say anything at the moment. Yep. With social media, everybody can actually put their feedback. After all, the customers that love you, they will continue to love you. Thank you. And the next question, is it good to ask an influencer through social media direct marketing, or I use email instead? Maybe you could explain it step by step. Okay. So are you can I have a little bit more details with that question? Are you asking, is it good to hire a social media influencer, or instead to use the email marketing? If you could actually give me a little bit more detail of that. Okay, I mean direct message. Through social media direct message. Is it good to ask influencer through social media direct message or email instead? Okay, these days I would say that direct message is very, very useful. The way to actually reply is a lot faster. I've actually seen that these days a lot of people do not use that much of their email. We have not been seeing a lot of people checking emails very, very constantly. So that is one of my advice for you. However, have multiple ways of connecting to them, whether it's direct message or whether it's email. It's just that with the direct message, if you're talking about like Facebook Messenger, then there's also an opportunity to set up your chat box there. Okay, I do see that we have some message coming in the chat box as well. But before that, let me just answer this one as well. Can you share how you create your tribe and how much time to spend and control to exert? All right. So when it talks about the creation of tribe or creating a tribe, then one of the topic that I must actually share here is this thing called freemium. So are you giving massive value away? Or are you giving free contents or free values away before you actually turn it to charging them? One particular example is Spotify. If you're actually a subscriber of Spotify, how long have you used Spotify for free before you decided to pay them? All right. So when you're talking about tribe building or community building, it's a lot about, do you have also that resources and time to spend to be with them and build up the tribe and thus see a longer sustainable business? Yeah. Because with regards to building a tribe, it's not going to happen overnight that it's going to make a difference to your business. It's baby steps. It's a difference in terms of like how we used to sell to like B2B, for example, because B2B, it's a matter of a long sales cycle in the front with the presentations and the decision making, and the minute you finish your delivery, they pay you that bulk of money. However, when you're talking about tribe building, it's collecting pieces and pieces of small nuggets of monetization fees or money, and along that way you actually spend time and build the community together, and as they grow together, you can see that your whole business also grow in that direction. Thank you for that question, Ivy. Can you please share where can we keep ourselves updated on the changing algorithm of social media, like numbers of hashtags, because it changes quite often? Great question. The thing is that the best answer to give you the most updated one will have to be my Mr. Google. It's a constant working out and researching the different places of checking out these things. Yeah. So for hashtags, there's many websites that you could actually check on hashtags. It's just that the thing is that everybody it's in that piece of a competition of who gets it better. So you have got to check across a few different ones. That's my suggestion to you. And we've got Professor asking, very often we hear the word, it's the buyer's market in these pandemic times. Kindly elaborate on this selling strategy. Great question that you have there, Prof. So with the buyer's market, the mantra that I always use is everyone can buy. Actually, buying and selling, it's a dialogue and a conversation of two different parties actually in one particular process. It's where someone is going to give away their money in exchange for a solution. When you talk about buyer's market, a lot of times that you're talking about these pandemic times, it's when they actually going on price points alone. However, we know that this particular pandemic has actually changed a lot of things of how we view things, view life, view our health, view the way that we actually have social interaction. So not everything needs to go down to that one negotiation or just price point. So besides looking at this particular selling strategy, what I actually would love that you could also do is that build yourself as an opinion leader in the industry or become the KOL of your own business. So the argument is always that, hey, as a business owner, why do I have got to go out there and tell my story? To me, it's this. You build this little baby up, which is your business, and you're going out there to shout out loud about your business. And that would actually give you a differentiation because you tell your story from your heart, and people who relate to that no longer just buy because of price point. And that would take you away from the stress of being in that competition of price war. Thank you for that question, Prof. And the next one we have, what criteria that I need to increase my selling services in photography, especially during festive season? Great question that you've got there, fabulous industry. So with the photography session, especially during festive season, one of the things that you can do is things like early bird booking, because I can see that a lot of people would want to do the last minute kind of shopping. However, if you open up early bird booking, you kind of be able to manage your resources better. You can actually put in assistant or a team of people to service everyone that you have actually signed up for. All right. Other than that, you can also do some promotional packages where it could be during this festive season, they actually take this amount of photos. They could actually have an extension of like family portraits thereafter in your studio, and etc., etc. So those are just some of the selling ideas that you can go on. So definitely you can actually put up a page where people can book your calendars, connect it to your calendars to be booked up, and together with some early birds discount, I'm sure that your calendar will be filled up. All right, let me have a look at the chat. Do we have questions from the chat? I think most of the questions have been moved over the other side. Any idea how to market products to a country having economic downfall? Great question that you have there. Okay, as we know that in any pandemic, there's always people that is going to make money, and there's always people that's going to be suffering. So my whole answer to that particular question is very much find that niche market that is able to afford you. For example, during this pandemic, you say that a lot of people actually suffered, like if they are in the airlines industry, if they are in the travel or hotel industry, they suffer a downfall. I can see that. We all know that. That's a fact. Yep. And what you can do is that there are people who's making money. For example, the ones in the mask industry, the ones in the gloves industry, or the ones in the food business, the catering business, the ones that's actually doing courier services. These are the businesses that's making money. So in any economy downfall, there are bound to people who actually made money, and there are bound to be people that is still in the pandemic itself and suffering from there. So good luck to you, Michael, that you could actually find the niche market that could afford your products and services. And I've got a question here. I don't know how to convert my Instagram to business account that can link to my existing Facebook from my business. Every time when I upgrade my Instagram to business account, my linked Facebook account will have problem to sign in. I need to request Facebook admin to reopen my account access and to convert my Instagram back to its basic type. My suggestion to you is work with the customer service of both the Instagram as well as Facebook to actually get it linked up for you, and hopefully that same issues that you have will not repeat again. Alrighty. Alrighty, we are 5 minutes before time. I've actually answered all the questions. Nope, I didn't. I've got one more here. I'm selling pre-love to fund social movement. Is there something I can do to increase selling? That's so interesting. There's plenty of things that you could do. Just a suggestion, yeah, I've actually used the Zoom for many things. For example, besides running meetings and seminars and whatnot, I've actually converted this Zoom room like this, just like the one you're seeing on the screen right now, into a online bazaar, into a online platform for like a marketplace. So perhaps you would like to have a marketplace where you could actually run a little selling bazaar or events so that you could actually fund the social movement. Congratulations on really working hard on those social movements, Fizzy. And if you need more help in reaching out to these social movements, or how it could help you, do connect with me. I love to actually support your cause. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. I believe I've actually answered all the Q&As as well as all the chats, all the questions that you have. All right. So if you'd like to connect with me, I'm available on my social media with my name there and my picture there. Please feel free to do so. And I would actually pass it back to the host.
Thank you, Andrea. I guess that's all the time we have for today. So we truly hope that you have gained valuable inputs and will be beneficial to your online business. Thank you, everyone, for being here today and making this workshop successful.